What's up? So, I'm here at MGH Guitars near Berlin. It was a, fantastic, relaxed 8 or 9 hour road trip up here from where I live, which is nothing. It was lovely. But now I'm here, and I want to show you some cool stuff. Right, so I've brought a few friends in, most notably this thing, which is the MGH Guitars Evolution, and it looks ridiculous. This looks like it was carved out of the table that's in front of me. You heard it in the intro. This was the intro of the video. I say that now, having not edited the video yet, but that's what the intro was. But yeah, I want to tell you a little bit about this company because, in my opinion, this is the most badass guitar company in Germany. You read that in the title. So, MGH is, well, it's an acronym. It stands for Manufacturing Guitars and Hardware, and, well, the hardware part is because the main source of income for the people who run this company is actually an online shop where you can buy guitar hardware, screws, buy pickup bobbins, buy all kinds of crap that you need to modify a guitar, build a guitar. That's the shop section a couple of meters to my right, which is not as interesting to me as, say, this thing, which looks like a BC Rich Ironbird, but it plays better than a BC Rich Ironbird. This is the MGH Iron Custom. By the way, link to all of these guitars, probably not individually, but a link to the MGH website will be in the description so you can browse, shop, buy one if you want to. I don't make any money off it if you do. This isn't affiliate marketing. I'm being paid to be here, but I don't make any don't make any commissions if you buy these guitars, but it's still a recommendation. You should, because these are very, very good. They play very nicely, and quite honestly, the reason I'm here is because I was at a trade show recently, which I will purposefully not name for the same reason that I didn't actually film while I was there. And there was a company there that particularly caught my eye. Quite frankly, it seemed like they were the general overall highlight of the trade show because everybody seemed to flock to their booth, and I was no exception. I fell in love with the guitars, and, well, I fell in love to the point that I made a 9-hour road trip up here to come and play the guitars again, and also, make this video for you. So I'm going to be walking you through kind of the history and the, way this company operates, and then some individual guitars. There are way too many in here for me to show you all of them, besides in a B-roll that will have already been rolling for the past 10 seconds over, the sound of my lovely voice. But I'm going to grab a few individual ones that caught my eye at the trade show, or ones that weren't at the show that I found here that I really like. And, I'm going to demo them for you with some kind of shitty sound because it's just going to be the camera audio from big Engel and Laney stacks that are in this room. But also I'll be running you through the specs, but in my opinion, one of the most interesting parts of this video is just going to be the kind of documentary section about the history, the life and times of this company, if you will. So the company's been around for 20 years. In fact, they celebrated their 20th anniversary at aforementioned trade show that shall not be named. And if you're wondering why I'm sitting in front of something as unscenic as a bunch of planks, and I'm sitting behind a plank. There's a lot of planks in this shot. It's because I want to talk about the woods a little bit, because something interesting is, I said this company was based near Berlin, but all of the woods are sourced locally. Now that means nothing, because it means they were bought somewhere locally. Still, if it's something like, mahogany, it's going to be from Africa or some shit. But all the woods are bought from the same dealer who is based very locally, and that's, I don't know, that's a good thing, I guess. Also, obviously, all these woods are very legal. The Canadian maple, some European maple, some mahogany, some this and that. Basically, this is a custom guitar company, by the way, so they'll build you anything. But within reason, any wood that is legal and obtainable in this country, they'll build it for you. And I do mean anything, because again, look at this. Who builds this? No one, Kiesel won't build you this. So the particular guitar that caught my eye at that trade show I was at, and found this company, which by the way I'd never heard of before. They've been around for 20 years, which is longer than I've been alive for. Is this, which is the MGH Nazgul. It has an ash body, maple maple and mahogany neck, ebony fretboard. It comes in this sort of relic crackly finish that they call veteran red, which is very, very cool. And it doesn't even come across that well on camera, just how cool it is, because it's almost like there's a black crackle layer underneath something that used to be solid red. Also sounds very cool. Another very eye-catching model is the MGH Butcher, which is, well, this is the 7-string version. There's a 6-string too, and there's a couple 8-strings. Now, the one I'm holding right now is not the 8-string that I played, because visually, this one is much more exciting. The gimmick on the other one was that it's an 8-string. The top on this thing is a figured poplar top, which is a term that I've never heard before in my life. That could just be me being an idiot though. And this particular finish on the body as well as on the matching headstock is called Polluted Galaxy, and it's actually a high-gloss nitrocellulose lacquer, which is very, very interesting. I don't know if there will be a demo of this one through the amp. I might do that later when I plug in a couple more guitars. If not though, just listen to the 8-string. Now, this one is perhaps MGH's most eye-catching guitar because it has custom hand-painted Green Hornet art on it, from which it received its name, which is Green Hornet. Essentially, this is MGH's metal caster. I played one of those too, in an orange sort of crackle. Take a listen, take a look. But this particular one, again, is like, this is pretty much one of one, and it features some custom art by Reen Flash Art. Here's a close-up of that logo. So yeah, there's not much that differentiates it from the regular metal caster besides the fact that this has really, really cool custom art. If it wasn't for the Nazgul shape, I'd probably say this is my favorite, but that one has a floored rose. This one's a hardtail. I don't know, this is like a Kramer Beretta in much, much cooler. So let's actually get into some more of what MGH guitars is all about, because one big thing is that they make everything except the hardware themselves. They make all of the electronics themselves. The pickups are made in-house. They are made at a desk right over there. And besides that, there's a bunch of people at work in a room to my left over there doing woodwork, because they make all of the fretboards, headstocks, necks, bodies themselves, all of the tops. Everything is made in-house. You know, they don't buy anything from anybody else. And another reason that's very cool is because if you place an order here for something that you really want made exactly to your spec, they can do it because they have full control over what they're doing here, as opposed to if they ordered in tops or ordered in fretboards or some crap. Now, just to give you some idea of the scale of this company, about 80 to 100 guitars leave this factory every year, and everything is done completely by hand, as in there is no CNC involved in this process at all, which is especially impressive given the fact that, like, look at all the intricate bevels and stuff on some of the guitars here. And if you want one of those 80 to 100 guitars that leave this place every year to be yours, then the wait time for a custom model is about 8 to 12 months, which is absolutely nothing compared to, like, I don't know, look how long ESP makes you wait for a custom shop guitar. So I say, enough of this boring wood couch, let's go annoy some people in the wood shop. Excuse any noise or potential death metal, because that's what happens around here. I want you to get the authentic experience of what it's like in here. People working with wood. There's some very lovely guitar bodies over there, but here's proof that they do everything by hand. I don't know what he's cutting right now, but it's a neck. I assume it's a neck. I'm just gonna very annoyingly sneak past everybody here. Oh look, peace and quiet, and also darkness. Is this the light switch? So this is kind of the room where things are assembled, I guess. It's also a very nice look into how these people actually make their money. As I said earlier, the guitars aren't the main source of income. Instead, it's things like these. As dumb as it sounds, they sell parts like screws and bolts and all kinds of hardware and crap, because really, I can't get the little thing, but I'll take care of that in a second. Who of us hasn't lost, I don't know, a pickguard screw and then had to buy a whole new set because you can't buy a pickguard screw online, or I don't know, they just rust away because you're playing a Squire, some bullshit like that. It's something we've all dealt with, and they sell everything, so you don't have to go to like Thomann and have very slim pickings. I guess here is a guitar that's sort of in the works. I'll be very careful handling this. Yeah, so that's kind of, I guess, mid-assembly. And just look at that crackle, isn't that beautiful? Also, they make their very own pickguards, not even those they import. I suppose you could probably have those customized too. I don't know the ins and outs of this company, but there's lots of pickguard materials in there. I'll steal the camera from you for a second. Plenty of choices for pickguard materials. You probably do metal pickguards as well?
We do metal pickguards as well, and custom pickguards.
Dude, next time I need a metal pickguard. Last time I needed a metal pickguard for a Squire mod project, I bought one on eBay that was only available in the US. I had it shipped to someone in the US. They shipped it to me. If I'd known this place exists, my life would have been so much easier. But, you know, such is life. I know the place exists now. Next time I need a metal pickguard or any kind of custom pickguard, I know where I'll come. There's also necks and fretboards and crap here. Look at all these necks. They'd probably sell necks too. So if you just don't want to, you know, go to Warmouth because Warmouth necks are very, very expensive, buy here instead. And we have circled back to the amp stacks where I was earlier. That's kind of the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you to MGH Guitars for taking me in today and you know, giving me the tour, letting me show all this cool stuff to all of you. I drove 9 hours to get here. I have another 9-hour trip ahead of me right now. So MGH links in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.